Years back, I flew into London Heathrow, Terminal 5, British Airways. I've been a loyal customer of British Airways. It's just until it's recent that I chucked them out. I chucked them out for obvious reasons, unmentionable here though. I remember coming into London Heathrow Terminal 5. It was a morning flight, 2 a.m. from Mumbai, and I landed at about 7, half 7 in the morning. And I was standing in the immigration queue, and there's about 600 people. The worst immigration I found was JFK. Gosh, USA airports, pathetic. Pathetically bad. Take it from me. I've traveled the world. Pathetically bad. Troops. 800 people in waiting in one immigration office. What kind of services are these? I have to stand there for an hour and a half waiting to get a stamp on my passport. 800 people in the queue and one immigration officer.
Oh my God.
Oops. Sorry about that, but what to do? I had to say it somewhere, So I stood in this long, it's same with London Heathrow that day. It was Olympics, just the Olympics is about to come. And I stood in the queue. And I stood in the queue. I found a very nice Jewish family standing in front of me. And they had all of this, hair locks and the black suit. And the lady, and they had 4 kids. 4 kids. So the father was holding 2. One was in the pram. And this other little one was held by the mother. So 2 with the mother, 2 with dad. And I was like standing there. And suddenly, the mother found out that the little one, must have been like an hour, year and a half, 2, whatever, was missing. The father had 2. The mother had the pram, but the other fellow who the mother was holding was gone. Boy. And then the mother was like panicky. She said, where's Joshua? Where's Joshua? And then one guy was standing just at the outside of the external side of the kid. He said, maybe there's a boy running, maybe that's Joshua. Is that your son? So then she saw it was him. So the mother came out and she started chasing. Hey, Joshua! Joshua! Wait, stop there! Joshua! Joshua! And the louder she shouted Joshua, the faster he ran. जो लोग हिंदी समझते हैं, मैं हिंदी में कहता हूँ, जितना जोर से जोशुआ चिल्लाए, उतना जोशुआ को जोश आया भागने. The more she yelled Joshua, the faster the guy ran. And then she kind of ran really fast and caught up with Joshua. And as soon as she came close to him, this guy knew now. Now mom's here.
Caught.
Now I'm going to receive some sauce there. So he just fell there on the ground. Like Frankie, nothing had happened. And the mother could do nothing, everyone was watching the whole drama. But she couldn't even discipline him right there. So she just held Joshua's hand and brought Joshua back in the queue and held his hand not to let go. Gripped his hand like this. And when I saw the story, happened right in front of my eyes, that visit into London, every lecture I told the story. You can hear the recordings. When I'm in London, I stay for a month, usually once a year, sometimes twice a year. And in a month, I end up giving between 80 to 100 talks. Wow. That's how much I speak in the UK, So every talk practically I told Joshua's story. Why? Because in this book called the Gita, about Krishna, he tells Arjuna in the Sanskrit text an amazing principle of how to deal with the mind. He says, Yato yato nischalati manas chanchalam asthiram tatastato niyamya etad atmaneva vasham. O Arjun, wherever and whenever the mind wanders due to its unsteady and flickering nature, bring it back under the control of your higher self. The mind is just like Joshua, standing in a queue to focus on the sound of God's name and slips away. And the more you chase it to bring it back, saying, Joshua, come back! Joshua, come back! The further it slips away. This is why Lord Krishna says, Just hold it and bring it back. And we go again. Hold it and bring it back. And yet again it will slip out. Hold it and bring it back. This is called abhyas.
Yes.
Practice. Constant practice. When Tiger Woods was asked, so what is the secret of your being such an expert golfer? He said 3 words. Practice, practice, practice. It needs so much practice to hit a ball into a hole. You think the mind will just come easily like that back without practice? It needs tremendous amount of abhyas and practice to be able to bring the mind back and get to that state where the mind becomes like a flame of a lamp, unwavering, because there's no wind around. The winds of thoughts, the winds of desires, as they subside, mind will become like a flame, steady, unflickering. It doesn't happen overnight.
Practice.
Rome was not built in a day.
Yeah.
It needs tremendous amount of hard work, practice, involvement, focus to be able to come to that stage. And this is where the principle of mantra meditation and divine sound comes to our help, because now we are not by ourselves. We have God's name with us. I remember I saw a very funny cartoon once. It was nice. It wasn't a cartoon really, some caricatures made by a guy. There was a little girl, like tiny toddler, like about 3, like a caricature. And there was a Hulk, massive Hulk, like his biceps and triceps and pecs, like big guy, you know. And this little girl was doing, teasing this guy, doing all this to him. This is in a caricature. And I'm wondering, look at this girl. Look at how guts this Hulk, you know, if he just presses her, she'll be crushed. He's doing this. Then I realized, why is she doing this? I hadn't seen the other side of the caricature. So this girl is doing this with Hulk because behind her was her dad. I hadn't seen that behind her was her dad. So now by herself, if she is to deal with this Hulk, she's helpless, she'll be crushed. But when the dad's with her, then she can challenge the Herculean guy. Similarly, our mind is like that Hulk. Have you realized sometimes? The mind, God, can take you for a toss like this. Hulky, bulky guy, you know. And we are like that tiny toddler. We're trying to say, hey, well, come back, mind, trying to deal with the mind. By ourselves, we are helpless. But when we have that divine connect, as I mentioned today,
Yeah.
power of God with us, then nothing is impossible. This is why I say again, when you run alone, it's a race.
Race.
And God runs with you.
Grace.
Grace. This chanting, meditation, prayer, worship is all about trying to have God on your side. And thus, mantra meditation is effective, easy, because it's filling in positive sound.
Positive sound.
Spiritual sound. Whereas otherwise it's just emptying all the negative noise. Well, how? How? You're sitting there and thinking, well, yes. You know, you say, I want to be thoughtless. But I want to be thoughtless as a thought.
Yeah.
Correct.
Do you realize?
Yeah.
Then I say, yeah, I want to be thoughtless. I want to be thoughtless. Be thoughtless. And that's one thing going on in your mind. Be thoughtless. And be thoughtless is a thought. We just become helpless, you know. So I think that powerful connect of spiritual sound is incredible. I've done it for the last 22 years.
Oh.
Swamiji, what mantra, any particular?
I